Today, we are having an open mic on the financial impacts that stuttering causes and how ex-stutterers' earnings increase and how financially, like the financial benefits of now having fluency.
First of all, I would like to say hello to Lee. Lee, I have been dying to talk to you directly. Finally, I am able to meet the man that is changing my life. It took me 5 years to get my first job, and the person who gave me my first job was a stutterer too, right? So I can confidently say that my finances are 5 years worse off than it would have been if I would have been a fluent person from the very beginning. So this thing that we have between our ears, we need to get rid of it. We need to get rid of it. It's not good, right?
I didn't move up as fast as I should. I had to, and I think that the main reason was because I didn't. I felt a little bit not not confident to advocate for it in front of bosses, and I think that that's a very common thing with PWS. You know, you feel really ashamed and anxious, and you feel that they kind of are doing you a favor by having you there. So you don't want to rock the boat a lot or create waves or everything, even though you know that you are as competent as others. But I think there is a reality that you have to look the part and act the part, you know. And sometimes when you block or stutter or repeat, they might confuse that with lack of confidence, lack of competency. So I think there's both an internal and external part, you know. When you know that you have more control on your speech and can express yourself in a more assertive manner, what that does, it makes you feel yourself more valuable, more confidence, and advocate better for yourself, your skills and abilities, which leads to a higher salary.
So prior to joining WSSA, back then there was no WSSA. Prior to meeting Coach Lee, my life was not so good. I used to be a loner. I used to talk very less. I was struggling to make friends, and I was a bright student, and only I know that I was a bright student because every single time the teacher asks a question, I know the answer, but I just couldn't answer it uh, due to my stuttering. But after I met Lee, my life, took a whole, it just turned my life, I would say, because, and I was so fortunate to meet him at the right at the, beginning of my professional life. So when I joined one IT firm, in the starting, we had to shift a lot of teams. So every time I moved to a new team, I have to introduce myself, and self-introductions were really a nightmare for me. But Coach Lee, after he taught me the first crutch, I could see a drastic improvement, both in my confidence, my mindset, and my speech. And from there on, I started implementing the crutches, the mind training, and I used to read aloud every single day without fail. And my income right now, I would say it has increased by tenfold. So I'm so proud of what I've achieved, and it's only because of this one true soul. And I'm so happy, and I'm thankful to Coach Lee always and forever.
A lot of people have been mentioning communication as it's important to this job or it's important now or whatever. But communication is essential regardless of what you're after. Whatever position you're in, communication, I mean, even if you're an IT guy buried in a closet, you still have to interview, you still have to get that job, you still have to talk to people every once in a while. So communication is key. It's what sets us apart from the animals, besides maybe clothes. But the other thing I want to talk about is when I had a stutter when I was like a teenager, I really didn't think I would ever get married, because who wants to marry somebody who can't talk? And the most important financial decision you'll ever make is who you marry. Doesn't matter anything else. Your partner in life is who's going to dictate your financial future. If you marry somebody that loves to spend money, then you'll never have any money. So the fact that I was able to overcome a stutter and marry a beautiful girl that loves to also be very thrifty and save a lot of money is one of the best financial decisions I've ever made. But I was only able to do that because I was able to get down on one knee and ask her to marry me and say it without a stutter. And then my last point is I was able to apply for basically my supervisor's position at work. And I interviewed a couple weeks ago. Didn't think about stuttering once in the interview, focused totally on content, never even crossed my mind. And I got the call yesterday that I got the job. So huge, higher level than I ever thought I would ever get. And stuttering wasn't even in my mind in the interview. And I have Lee to thank for that. So that's my 3 points.
There is also a thing in that all of us suffer as PWS is that it is not if you're going to get a job or not, or your wage or all those things, but it's also the anxiety that you feel in every meeting, in every conversation, and all those things. Because I can say from my experience, I did not the thing I that I think in my case it was the most difficult. It was to deal with the constant anxiety every day because I had to speak every day on the phone with because my job it was on sales, so every day it was speaking to people, going to meetings and all these things. So every day I had to deal with this anxiety, with the blocks, with the stutters. So this is also so here also you're going to learn ways to get rid of those fears and actually learn to love to speak also at work. So you're going to be able to enjoy your job, right? So I think this is also a thing that is very important.
I think that this stutter has definitely impacted my professions and choices. So I actually have a higher degree. I have a PhD in chemistry, but sadly, I have actually never worked in that field because I let my stutter hold me back. I got my PhD in chemistry 11 years ago, and then I moved to the US a year later. Well, actually in the same year, a few months later. And I was too scared to apply for jobs because the thought of having to have phone calls or go to interviews just totally freaked me out. So I never even applied for any jobs in my field. And instead, I took the cop out and I kind of started to work in real estate, but more kind of behind the scenes, not really in the sales part. And I hope with joining this program and working on my speech, but especially also working on my mindset, I think that's one of the biggest things. I'm hoping that I will turn things around and find whatever my next career path is.
Now, I have not earned my first job yet because I'm only 13 right now. But recently, in my school, I have been learning about finance. So, all that I can say right now is that I honestly feel like that if I stay in this program, if I read aloud every single day, if I recite my affirmations every single day, once I grow old and once it's time for me to earn my first job, I will enter the interview with a big smile on my face, and I am certain that I will absolutely destroy that interview. So I feel like that as long as I'm in this program, I will improve my speech day by day. And I feel like that once I'm old enough and then once I earn my first job, I will literally destroy it by then. So I was about to say that thank you, Coach Lee, and thank you everyone for improving my speech so much.
Asma, you did a great job today. Thank you so much. And thank you to all of you who contributed, Antonio, Jarir, Patricia, Dante, Kabir, Mustafa, and all the others. Thanks so much. And don't forget to sign up for your free coaching session as soon as you can. Asma, back to you.
Thank you, Coach Lee. Now it's time to close our meeting. I hope that you enjoyed exchanging thoughts with ex-stutters and those fast becoming ex-stutters. I will now end with our motto. Feel free to say it along with me. If you can say one word anywhere, anytime, you can say and love to say any word, anywhere, anytime. Until next Saturday, have a great weekend, everybody.